Poor Jake. He has the cone of shame. He got his nuts cut out, so he's sad. I don't blame him. We had us, well, we're still having a drizzle right now, and I'm just fine with it. It's about 6:30 right now. I kind of just laid around eating breakfast, so didn't get out to do my chores yet. Tell Sniper's got to pee real bad. He's still got his leg lifted there. The girls left at 5 o'clock this morning. Jessica's a competitive swimmer, and they had a swim meet in Nanton. Well, Jessica had one there. Mama Bear just volunteers and supports her child. Lorraine and Crimson are with big old Chico. I got the 2-year-old's halter broke, so now these ones are up here. Crimson's halter broke, but we got to get riding on her. But Lorraine's not halter broke, so that's on this. It was supposed to get done this week, but we didn't even ride this week. I was gonna go, and I gotta check lots of pastures today and tomorrow because we just got busy doing other stuff, and I'd much rather ride. But I better feed these guys before they get fighting too much. Chico is not the boss, we'll just say. He is not in charge. This is what happens when you forget the sprinkler on all night. Mama Bear and I went to Lethbridge on a date last night, and I thought when I got home I would move the sprinkler over to there in the garden rather than here, but I forgot. So as you can see, you can stand water in sand, but that's a 24-hour set that sprinkler did basically a quarter circle setting for 24 hours, and in a couple of hours that water will all be gone. So the garden looks a little nicer. We spent lots of hours in here pulling weeds. The peas, be able to do a picking tomorrow morning. We should get enough peas that we could have them for lunch. And then maybe Sunday, so probably by Tuesday or Wednesday we'll start picking peas for freezing. But the garden looks better now. These beans were pretty yellow and now they're coming around. My little carrots are doing okay, and like I said, there's our one potato plant in that row, and then a little row there. I took the sweet corn out. It wasn't gonna make it, so it all got worked out. You can see I'm irrigating with the pivot. I was hoping the corn would have grown another foot taller this week, but it didn't happen. But it will keep growing. So I'll bring you out when we're doing something fun, instead of moving sprinklers in the pretend garden. I guess I gotta go check my filter on my pumping unit here. So this is my electric pump, and this is my filter. And inside there's a fine screen, and the water passes over it and has to go, or passes in through the screen and then has to push the water outside the screen within this filter before it can go in that pipe and then go to the underground main line out to the pivot. So I've got a gauge right here that tells me my inlet pressure, and it says about 53, and then I have an outlet pressure and it's about 52, and so that's how you know when your filter's plugged. So I was down to 40 pounds on the filter, So you open that valve up, but what I do is I actually shut the pump off, shut off my water supply, then open the valve, and then the water that runs back from the pivot point actually back flushes the filter. And then I just put this rod in and I disturb everything and I get mud and junk all come up. So that brush there, I have 4 brushes, well, one broke off, but I used to have a filter on the inlet and I had a oversized filter screen with 1/4-inch holes, and then I had an end plug on the end. So then I would just open it up, take the end plug off, and then I'd brush it, and then I'd open the water up and flush it. But we changed things. We moved this whole pumping setup differently, and then I put the filter on the outlet side like it's supposed to be. But we had it so bad for a while that if I didn't have the filter before the pump, you had to take the pump apart a couple times a day, and that ain't my thing. Like I said, I'd rather go cowboying than taking pumps apart. No one wants to take pumps apart all day. So back to work for me. You can see that lowland there is still bad, but we'll just keep it too wet so we can keep the rest of it growing. And the little sprinkler garden's just giving her. So I don't know what the weather's supposed to do today. We had a tornado touch down 20 some miles away, 2 of them I guess, but we don't want any of that crap, and I don't carry hail insurance, so we really don't want that crap. So back to work for me. Sniper's ready to have his breakfast too, so by the time I get everything else done, we'll go catch some saddle horses. So Wyatt's just getting his bridle on. We got Mystical saddled up here, ground tie horse. I can show you off. Gotta get my get down rope out of my chinks. Easy girl. Hey. So Super Mystic's all ready to go. Hey, supposed to ground tie. Wyatt's getting on. So this is one of our purebred pastures. So just a small group, around 20 cows here, and our fancy dancy bull. This is crested wheatgrass. Only part of it grew this spring, but when they don't have anything to eat, they will eat it. If they had other stuff to eat, this would all just be seeded out. So let's go check some cows. So it's hard to tell this is all alkali because it doesn't show white, but that's because we had out here, they probably had 1/4 inch last night. But this foxtail, when we first got this 1/4 section, there was 40 acres of absolute alkali and foxtail, and then we had 1 year it all grew to kochia weed, and that saved our bacon, and then it started to fill in with grass. But 1 year, I think we ran 40 cows out here because the kochia weed was so thick. But I've been stuck out here. We used to have, my grandfather and I would check cows with this pickup truck every Sunday. And more than once I had to push the truck out. And we didn't have 4-wheel drive trucks at all. And so with all the border dikes and ditches, you had to be careful where you drove anyway. And then he would pull across some alkali that he thought looked dry, and we'd get stuck. Got some bugs biting on us. But you can see we got cattle in front of us. And Mystic'll scare herself when she gets up here. When we get closer, she'll stop and look like they're all a bunch of grizzly bear. That's what she does. So I'll bring you out when we get closer. So I just picked up a bunch of wire that was on the ground, some smooth wire. So here is the cows and calves. We're gonna go over Wyatt's just checking, make sure there's no sore feet or eyes or abscesses. We're gonna go check the bull, make sure he's doing good. There's a border dike. Like I said, this was a flood irrigated pasture before we got it. They took the irrigation rights away and then we were able to rent it. So go check. Like I said, there's ditches all over this place. Nice heifer calf there, dies. Got a few bugs on their bull. Anyhow, it doesn't have a broken penis or anything like that. Walking good. Like I said, he should have everything bred up now. If we had a corral and closer and we cared, I would just bring him home. But I don't really care. I mean, he's not bothering anyone here. There's not a group of neighbors' cows that are right on the fence that are just getting bred now or something like that, where he's wanting to jump the fence to go breed the neighbors. But the bugs are ticking off Mystic. Keep flying in her ears and my ears. So if everything looks good and Wyatt gives me the thumbs up, then we'll head back to the trailer and we'll go to the next pasture. It's a hairy, ugly bugger. Hey, you're ugly. You're all hairy. Not very pretty. Oh, that's an orphan calf there. His mother died in May. That's Brownie there. Everything look okay?
Over there.
Oh, yeah, he's got a. We brought him out like that.
Oh, okay.
He's an injury.
I couldn't remember.
That's why he lost his testicles. So, let's go ride another pasture then, son. Okay? Like I said, this has been a nice pasture to have. We've had it for, oh, I'd say 30 years. And it's been absolutely lovely. It's not really big. So, like, there's some years that we've brought cows and only left them for a couple of months. And then we've got, a year where you get some moisture and we've left them for 5 months. So we'll go drive, I think, about 35 miles and go check another pasture. But that's what you got to do when you have livestock. You got to take care of them. We're the stewards of the land and our livestock, so we'll bring it back out when we hit the road. I don't know if you'll see, but we got cattle over there. This is a heifer pasture. I think we figured out we're 40 miles from where that last pasture was. So this one is all cut up with drain ditches. And this is a rented pasture as well. But there's drain ditches out here. And so then that's not suitable for farmland. That's why it's still grass. You can see it's greener ahead of us where it's low and will flood in the spring. Lots of sagebrush, crested wheat grass. So there's some feed out here. And I'll bring you out when we get closer. But I thought I would just show you what we're seeing. My horse wants to eat for some reason. She forgets that she got fed this morning. She keeps trying to bend over or bend down and reach down to get some grass, and like I said, I know this silly horse, she's gonna do that and then she's not gonna be paying attention, and I'm gonna have a partridge flush and then she's gonna try to dump me off. That will not make me very happy. I think Wyatt must be doing a video too. I can hear him talking. So we crossed the drain ditch, and one of the many drain ditches, and then we've got over to the heifers. There's a couple heifers on the other side of the drain ditch. So we'll go check these girls out and make sure the bulls do. And I see the bulls over there, and that's very important to see. Like I said, I have had issues. Last year our bull got let out into the other pen, and then one of our heifers got bred by the neighbor's bull, which wasn't very good because it was a purebred. And then this year their bull jumped the fence into these heifers, and it wasn't making me very happy either, because I don't want some black Solera bull breeding my heifers. So Wyatt's just counting them all up, making sure we have a good count. Mystic's taking a dump. I didn't really need to tell you guys that, I guess, but if we're not hustling, if my horse wants to stop to take a dump, I let her do it. They can drop it while they go, but so we'll just give these girls a check. These are all commercial heifers, especially the black blaze one. Blaze face one is easy to tell. Don't like how she's standing. Big step girl. Well, I guess she's walking okay. Bull's got a big stretch there. Let's see how he looks. Make sure he didn't break his penis or anything like that. Oh, everything looks good. Oh, now Chico's got to go to the bathroom. Got to get my horse to turn. So there is that group of heifers. The count is good. Like I said, there's nothing exciting. Our bull has a little swelling on his hock, but he walks just fine. So we thought about, get this horse to turn up. Hey. We thought about putting a rope on him and give him a needle, and thought everything else is fine. I don't see the point of doing it. So we just checked our water. There's just a little spill, and it fills, like I said, there's 6 different drain ditches in here, but this one we can spill a little water so they have something fresh to drink, not just alkali water. So that's all she wrote. So now we get to go hit the road and go to another pasture. So now that's the Old Man River. That's a seed canola field. That's not ours. And like I said, we're what we call the coolies. And so truck's way up over there. So we're gonna go find these. We've got a small group of purebred heifers here, and then some cows. I think there's maybe 4 pair of cows. And a couple of cows that were on a deal that they were supposed to get sold to someone, and then they didn't come through with the money. And then a couple first calvers that couldn't go to the other bull. They had to go to this bull. So as you can see, our horses have to negotiate over this. This is the only way of getting over here. I mean, we could have drove the truck and trailer, but how do you put miles on horses driving the truck and trailer? So our horses aren't shod, so they'll work on their feet today. So like I said, there's the little draws here of the coulee. There's a couple of culverts under what we're just walking on. A little further down the river is our fishing hole where we go and fish, but we haven't done that yet this summer. Closer to August, we'll go fishing there. Wyatt's busy counting, and we got the fat horses coming to see us. Just keeping that little guy away. Yeah, them horses are pretty darn greasy. Ready for go get slaughtered, I guess. No, I'm just joking. Anyhow, this is a little group of purebred heifers. Like I said, in about 4 pair. Wyatt had to use some of his horse's toes to count. Now Wyatt's shaking his head. I'm going to get talked to later. Wyatt's going to give me trouble.
Might get roped later.
Uh-oh, he's going to rope me. That little bay is a quarter horse miniature cross. His mom was a miniature horse, and then his dad was a quarter horse 3-year-old stud that must have got down right on his knees to breed his mom. So we'll just give these guys a look and I'll bring you back out. Happens. Okay, so they're all accounted for. Wyatt got all his counting done, and he did give me a lecture about teasing him. Yep. And there's the fat brombies there. The sorrel there, head down, is, well, I guess she kind of looks chestnut now. That's Ellie, she's the buggy horse. And then that's Chaton, is the little black gelding that the kids learn to ride on. And then I think it's Lakota is the little bay. And then the little donkeys are over there.
Mine's Jack in the Box.
And you see the sky looks kind of threatening. Blue that way, but it's dark that way. Like I said, I would love to see it rain. Ty, it's Saturday, and sometimes Ty doesn't have to work Saturdays, but they're AI and all the purebreds and the heifers right now on the ranch he's at. So he had texted me when he got some cell service and said that he was soaked to the skin because they've been raining. I said, oh, we'd like it rain too, but he informed me that when it rains here, I can just go to the house. When he's 40 miles from the house and the job has to get done, he don't get to stop. So, and he's right. Must be another donkey here somewhere. My horse is getting all spooky here, so I will bring you back out when we see the other donkey. Well, we're getting a shower now. I'm pretty sure ahead of us it's not even raining. But we got back to the truck and loaded our horses and it started to shower on us. We stopped and picked a couple of peas out of the pea field that we were beside, that for combining, not green peas. We did just pass through green pea fields that we're going to the cannery right now, but it is raining now. I hope that we can get rain on our pastures. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I can see the sun shining just past this, so when I get you home, we'll bring you out and we'll see if it's raining or if it's dry. Hey, Crimson. Lorraine. So we were supposed to, where I left you off, I was going to show you some more, and we we're going to go ride one more pasture, but we got rained out, which was wonderful. When we got home, it had stopped raining, but the pivot had been shut down because the power had flickered. So I had to walk to the center point and reset it there, start up, and by that time I got poured on the whole way through. So I'm going to go in and put dry clothes on. So Lorraine, you don't have to get a halter till later today. I'll work with you later. So anyhow, thanks for coming along with us and checking cows. Be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and have yourselves a great day. Take care.